Hello and good morning, everyone. It is Jean with Captain Stitches, and this is Friday Stitch Tips and Chat. Welcome, everyone. We have those early birds in the chat again this morning. I'd like to welcome Guess Who Nancy. Christine Wolf is here, and Andrea is here. Good morning, Andrea. Welcome, and she is one of the Stitching Friends, which is the membership to my channel. Good morning, Danielle. My dear daughter, Danielle, is here this morning. And Judy Hebert has just popped in. Good morning to all of you. It is an awesome Friday morning, the end of the week for those of you that work. I think, though, Danielle has the day off today, so she has a long weekend. And Debbie is here. Hello, Debbie from In Quilt Fact. Welcome, welcome. And just for some housekeeping right now, if you'll give me a second, Danielle, I did install the exclamation point selfie. So that should help you out. For those of you that have YouTube channels or content creators, if you put in the comments exclamation point selfie, it should drop your channel link. And if it doesn't, Danielle or one of my other moderators will try and get that in for you. So, good morning, Debbie Williams. It is great to see you also. And she is also one of the Stitching Friends through membership of my YouTube channel. Sandra Ryle is here this morning. Michelle's Crafts and More is here this morning. And let me see if I have missed anyone. Terry Amston is here this morning. Welcome to you. Katie Crafts is here. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry that you are still not feeling well, Danielle. And it worked. Very good, very good. That means I did something right in the technology world. But welcome, everyone. And so Terry is here. Welcome, so Terry. It is great to see you. And Kathy with Kathy's Quilts is here. Okay, so what do I have for you today? First of all, I will be giving a quick little demonstration on the construction of our March. Yes, it's March, isn't it? Today is the first day of March. All right, that means not long before spring will be here. And we've already, before spring is even here, had our first tornado warning and a tornado just a very short distance from where we live. So, but anyway, kind of, you love spring, but yet if you live where I do, you fear spring also. But enough of that. Let's go on. I was talking about what I am going to be sharing with you today. And just for the health of it, Lynn popped in. Lynn, you should have, I think, or maybe it's today, that you should be receiving your um, book that you won on my last live. I believe it should be arriving today. I'm not sure, and I know someone else, but we will wait. That's, kind of a surprise who is expecting a nice gift package today later on. And Mona is here. Welcome, welcome, Mona. She is also a member of the channel and one of the Stitching Friends. So, okay. Yes, I think you're supposed to get it today. Let's hope it arrives there nice and safely and intact. It should. I wrapped it good, taped it good. But anyway, I will be sharing with you, like I was saying, a quick little demonstration on the construction of March's block for our block of the month for 2024. And then I will also be sharing some of the information as we will be getting started for those of you that are the counter cross stitchers on that beautiful rose cross stitch project that we will be doing together. So we will be going over some of the information for that as well today. And then I will be mentioning something that will be happening for the members only of my channel coming up in our next Zoom day. So welcome, everyone. Where's Whip? Whip is sound asleep underneath the desk in his bed at my feet. So we're not going to disturb him right now. If he does wake up during the live, I'll bring him up here and you'll all get a chance to see him. But he's whipped out. Yes, which doesn't happen very often. So I am going to let him sleep. And Stitches is in with her daddy because right now, um, no, I don't want them both in the stitching cottage at the same time right now. Too much training going on. And yeah, it would be total chaos. They would frighten the squirrels all out. So, but thank you for asking about them. And Lynn says that she found her old cross stitch stuff. So have that out now. Awesome. Yes, I haven't gotten a chance. I saw it on my watch, talking about Mona's members only, I believe it is Zoom that's coming up, which I haven't gotten a chance to check all the details on that, but I saw it pop up on my watch. So good morning, Beverly is here also, and she is also a member of my YouTube channel and one of the Stitching Friends. So, okay. So let's go ahead and click in our project view so you can see what we will be, what maybe some of you have got it ready and will be following along with me today. If not, this is the block for March, which is called Aunt Venus Favorite. And it is through Patchwork Square, and the download for that is in the file section of the Facebook group of Captain Stitches and Friends. I think that's the name of it. Sometimes I get it mixed up and backwards, but that should be it. And the link for that, if you are not a member, is always in the description box below. Okay, it's for everyone, not just members tomorrow. Okay, thank you, Mona. I never, and especially seeing it on my watch, I didn't catch it all, but thank you. So this block looks a little bit more complicated than it is. And of course, as I always say and tell everyone, all blocks are basically pretty much, the same, even if it looks complicated, because if you just go ahead and take it step by step by step, it all works out the same. But you want to make sure on this one that you do, especially this section right here, really look at those diagrams and make sure that you are laying those out correctly. And if you are not using the colors that it shows in your pattern, you will want to make sure that you have those labeled so that you are putting the correct colors in the correct location. And it's a little confusing right here, I will say, where it does say make 2 of each combination. It just means both of those and both of those. Don't make 2 of each. However, you will be making, and I'll scoot that over a little bit, you will be making 4 of those sections when you sew them together. But I'm going to scoot this out of the way for right now. I'm going to put it down. These are the fabrics that I am using for my block. And of course, as usual, I do have part of it already stitched together, have the sections that I need to show how are going to be stitched. Yep, over here, not stitched yet, so I can show each segment of that and how it is stitched together, which we will start with the easiest part, is cross stitch for yarn or thread. It uses DMC or any type anchor, whatever, any type of floss. It is on normally a lot of people use a linen or Aida cloth, and it is counting the stitches as you go. That's why it's called counted cross stitch. And I will be showing that in a little bit, that you'll see what that, I can pull that over real quick. It is done on this. type. It has little holes that you can't see, but they form squares. And it is, the squares are different sizes according to how many per inch it is. But this is 14 count Aida cloth, and that's what counted cross stitch is. So, and I will be going into what is needed for that project after I show the demonstration on this. So if you aren't able to be here the whole entire time and you're interested, make sure you go back and watch the replay on that. But I don't think I have missed any. And yeah, too much tug of war of fabric. It must have been maybe talking about the dogs at the time that she said that. I'm not sure. But okay. Usually DMC floss, yes. Well, there are still a lot that use anchor. There are some that use the Weeks dye threads. There are some that use Valdani. The majority of us do use DMC. It is the more common to be able to find, and it is the cheaper, except for ones that aren't any brand at all. They're cheaper, but they don't go by the same colors when you have a chart to follow. So, but anyway. Thank you for adding that, Lynn. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to sew the half square triangles together that are on the four corners. So I will take that over and make sure that I have my iron on. I do. And I guess we need to add in the sewing machine. There we are. So you'll be able to see that. But I'm just going to stitch that with the normal 1/4 inch seam. And get my foot around the dog down here. Okay. Having a hard time reaching the foot pedal around her. Kim. So easy to, just like our kids. Call them the wrong thing sometimes. Oh, yes. That's what I thought you were probably referring to, Danielle. And it's not so much the tug of war fabric. They like to wrestle. They wrestle non-stop if you let them, and you have to just kind of scoot them and keep telling them no and stop them. They haven't, neither one is hurt, thankfully, each other yet. But it sounds ferocious, but it's just the normal puppy play. It is quite fun to watch at times. And of course, I am going to trim those two little tips off of there. And then we will set that back where it goes on our board. So that is in place. And I always have, oops, where is it? My little, there we go. The little clips with the numbers, that's letting me know which fabrics are what color, where they go on there. Once I have, some of them done, I can remove those, but I left it so I could show you that. And I'm going to finish this center section. I know that I'm going out of order on your instructions, but it's the quicker part of that. So I'm just going to finish that section up real quick on that, which started off with stitching these two triangles on two sides of it. And now I am going to stitch the other two. And these are 1/4 triangles that we are stitching onto there. Oops, put the needle down. That always helps. And I should mention before I go any farther on this, to make sure that these are centered, I did fold the square in half both ways and finger pressed that on the edges so I would have that to line up. And then I also folded the triangles in half and pinched that with my fingers so that I would have those points to line up. And that is how you make sure it is on the square correctly, because we are basically making a square and a square right now. And I'm just going to flip it over. And I guess we better cut that off there. And I am going to stitch the other side. I have to watch out that I don't pull my chair in too far, or I will go over a nose or a foot or something down here. He likes to be really close. I hope as he gets a little bigger, he decides that's not the place to be. But welcome, Melody. It's great to see you this morning. Thank you. They're just fabrics out of my stash. And they're not showing up the true colors. They're showing up brighter than what they are. They are more muted. This is more of a pink than the it shows more red here, and this green is not that dark of a Christmassy green. So I don't know why we can't ever get colors to show their true colors on here, but I guess we need really expensive cameras and more technology and everything for adjusting than what I have. But and then I'm not sure they would show up correctly either. But oops, I'm sorry. So now we have our square and a square that goes in the middle, and I am going to trim the little tips off of that as well. Slide that off. Put that out of the way so we can bring it back up here. And that will be going right there. For some reason, I guess it's just the way that's, yeah, just the way we're lining up there. But for some reason, that does not look the correct size to me. We will find out. It is all cut the right size. But so now we are going to be sewing this section right here. And that is the one that you're going to want to pay close attention to when you are piecing this. And I'm going to bring them all down here, or I can show you by bringing this paper, which is the instructions, back up here so you can see how I make sure that I have it all laid out correctly. I have this right in front of me so I can lay it out exactly as it shows to make sure that I have everything in the position where it is supposed to be, which this is our half square triangle, and these are our quarter square triangles. Green, red, red. So that is the way that we will be sewing that together. And we have to sew both of these first. So you want to make sure you do not turn that and end up sewing the wrong side before you get to your sewing machine. Because they have to be going, the two sections that go together opposite from what the first one is that you go, or they will not go together correctly. And I am going to press that to the green on all of them as I make them. That is what I did, which we will just finger press that for right now. And all I'm going to do is trim that little tip off there. So that now we have a section that looks like this, and you want to make sure that you place it back in the correct position here to where your green is down here. I'm using red instead of green for my lighter green. I wanted to make all my blocks have some of the same colors in it. So now we are going to just flip that over and we are going to sew those together. And we have a little nose right down there. Making sure we get that lined up correctly. And I got quiet. And the confident quilter Gladys is here. Welcome. Teresa Louise has popped in. Good morning, Teresa. And Joyce Hernandez is with us as well this morning. Thank you. Oh, never late. No problems there. And yes, Teresa Louise got lots and lots of snow this morning, around 14 inches. Oh my. Oh my, I wonder how much my son got. I think he's getting a little tired. He calls it pushing snow. Been pushing snow, what he always says. And Lynn says, wow, stay warm over the next 5 days here in Western Washington. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of snow. Yes, please keep that snow in Idaho. I agree. I'm going to press this over here and I'm going to press that to the larger triangle, which is the red one. It doesn't like to press on there, so I guess I will move this and press it on here instead. It did not like that little mat that's over there. But that is what that section will look like when you have it pieced together. And of course, I'm going to trim off the little tips on that one as well. And we are going to again, and we are going to set that there, knowing I've got that one done. Now we need to make this one the opposite direction. And that's why you want to pay close attention to the layout. So I'm going to lay it out just like my diagram here for the second one. Because now this one, it has to be on that side and that side. And if you were to make it the same one as this one, which if you just followed this up here and you thought, oh, they're all the same, made them all that gap, nope, they are not going to go together like it shows in the next portion that you make for that. So make sure you follow this and do not make all of them the same way because they will not turn and fit correctly. So we're going to, again, stitch those two together first. And not hit the whip that is underneath the sewing cabinet. Oh. Like things aren't hard enough without having to avoid a dog laying right underneath your feet. Which, if it was just my feet, it wouldn't be bad, but I'm always afraid that I'm going to roll over her with the wheels of the chair. Him again. It is a he, not a her. It is Whip that is out here, and he is a little boy. A rambunctious little boy. Quite the little wiggle worm and quite inquisitive and into everything. The only time he's not into something is when he's sleeping. Oh. Okay. Check to make sure we still have that in the correct space. It is. And now we're going to flip and sew that together. His head has gotten farther out since I started sewing, giving me less space to operate here. And again, we are going to press that towards the larger, the half square triangle, which is the larger one. Oops, if I don't lose it on the floor. And I'm using my really small iron today just because I didn't want to have to set more things up in the area this morning. Not doing that much pressing today, so it works well. So we have both of those completed now, and now we are going to do the green and your background color ones the same way. Again, we are going to lay it out the exact way that our diagram shows. I'm going to move it over so I can lay them both. I was going to say I'm missing a piece there. It's right there. I'm going to lay them both out at the same time. So I can just pick them up and sew them quickly and press those all together at the same time. Let me make sure I haven't missed anything. Lori Clark is here, and she's saying hello to the chatters. She's late, never late, getting ready for a job interview. Ooh, all right. And I don't think I missed anything. All right. I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to sew this other one. Also, to save time. Danielle is saying, good luck, Laura. You got this. She certainly does. And I'm going to press that to the green. And I'm trying to keep it to the correct side as I do that so I remember which one it goes with. It won't fit with the other, so that's no problem anyway, but oops, we didn't get that pressed well. All right, it wants to move, not staying in place on for me. Make sure that one's pressed correct. There we go. You can't cut with the iron. If you would have seen that, I just picked up the iron to trim that instead. And that one is going on that side. Bring this up here again so you can see. That one goes with that one. And this one goes with that one. And you can see that they are opposite. And now we are going to stitch those together also. It's at a horse farm. That sounds kind of exciting. Could also be, if you're handling the horses, could also be a little dangerous at the same time, but fun. Are you going to become a horse whisperer, Lori? And we'll just go ahead and chain piece these as well. Save time. Which if you were doing these, not for demo, you could chain piece all of the sections or all four units that you are making at the same time. And we are going to press those to the larger triangle again. Maritza, hola Maritza, Yarn and Crafts is here this morning. Welcome. Yes, I know Teresa Louise loves horses, and I love her horse collage that she did. I don't know why that is not wanting to press outright. I guess it's because I'm using the little iron. It likes to slide instead of staying in place and pressing how I want with this little iron. There are advantages and disadvantages to everything that we use. All right, we have those two sections done. So now we are going to go down here and we are going to see that we lay those out correctly. I just laying it exactly the way our diagram is showing us. And the greens are going to be together when it is correct. And that is how that is going to look. I do not know why, they constructed it that way, but they did. So that is the way that we are going to do it. There are easier methods that could have been done, but we shall stitch it that way. And there gets to be some bulk in these corners here because of the way they constructed it also. So just be aware of that. And we are going to press these seams open. Let me check and see. I'm going to check real quick to see if I press those. Yes, we are pressing those open. If I can get my fingers to cooperate. And I have left that chain together just so that I do not mix up their position. I will just have to cut that little chain before I press the next seam open after sewing that section together. But I know I won't accidentally take it over to the sewing machine and have those going the wrong way. Because now all I have to do is flip it back over there, flip that down, and it's ready to sew that final seam. Oh, goodness. I have to move somebody's head there. That would not be good. And I am going to stick a pin in that middle so it doesn't move while I'm lining up the other. And we definitely want to make sure we have that on there because we're going to be going over some bulk to start off with. And then line up this end down here. With a little tug. And be careful when you come to that middle section right here so that you do not cut off your points. With a little sliver trimmed on there. Okay. And now we are going to press that seam open as well. And to do that, like I said, you're going to have to trim your little chain stitch there in the middle so it'll open up. And take your thumb and just push that middle there. Coax it so it'll press better when you go to press that. I'm going to start right there in that middle so we can get that. It's going to be a plow and shovel day around here. Oh, so much fun. Oh. Yeah, I don't think he wants to help sew right now. He's sound asleep. But I keep waiting for the time when, yeah, I'll have it on and have my back turned like this and they'll either lay on or step on the pedal to the sewing machine and it'll start going by itself. Oh, yes, don't overdo. Very easy to do. Should have brought my clapper over, but it's okay. I will get it pressed. Pressed better later on with the big iron. We got a stray thread there. And that is how that should look when you are finished with it. And it will. We got pins laying on here in the way. We're going to get those out of the way. And when we bring it over, it goes right there. And I realize why that looks like it's the wrong size because those aren't sewn together yet. So, but there is all of your sections complete. And of course, you are just going to go and you are going to sew your sides, or it could be your top. It doesn't matter according to which way you have it, but you will, which that is the way that I did it. You're going to sew that top section row together first, and I pressed those out towards the triangles. On this middle one, you will be sewing both of those on there and then pressing in towards your square in a square, and then these together and pressing outward that way. And then your block will be complete, which will end up like that with whatever colors you have chosen for your fabrics. I'm not going to sew those seams together because I know you all know how to do that. But that is how you sew all those units for this. So you see, when you take it one step at a time, make sure that you have your instructions laying there. And like I did, construct it with it right there so you know that you have everything in the correct order and you don't have to have a date with Jack to get this block completed. So that is March's block for our 2024 block of the month that we do in here on my YouTube channel and also in my Facebook group. That the Facebook group is where you will find all the files and downloads for that. Yes, that's quite a cool looking block, isn't it? And I had a hard time choosing my fabrics for that because I wanted to get the green in. She just flopped more forward. She is determined to get in my way. It's a good thing my sewing segment is over, but I still need to get my chair, and I keep calling him a she. He says, boy, he wasn't happy that I just pushed him over, but I have to be able to bring my chair in here for our next project that we are going to be showing, because I know my cross stitchers have been waiting for this project, and it has taken me a little time to get around. How that looks funny with just that little bit showing there, but I need to open this. We aren't going to be using the sewing machine anymore, so we will remove the spotlight from there. But is Stitch with you too? No, Stitch is, and I will show because he did wake up and he's going to lay back down, but come here. Come here a minute. Excuse me as I duck under the desk here to grab him. This is Whip. He is a mini golden doodle. He is a handsome little boy. He is very energetic and very inquisitive. So Stitches is in with her daddy right now with two little puppies and training. Just too much out here for them both to be out here at the same time right now. So he is out here today with me, and until we get him trained better, I'm kind of the one in charge of the majority of that with him. So once we get him calmed down a little bit more, then they'll be able to be together more. But yes, I see you. You got a kiss for me? I'm just going to touch noses. Okay. But he is adorable. He is one cute bundle. He does have a coat on today because it's cold out here, out today. And when they go outside, we don't want them to get cold. But I call my sons my brother's names. Yes, I mean, we are always getting mixed up. And of course, I call them by some of our other dogs that are no longer with us names too. But yes, it all ends up there in the long run. And so Terry says, I call my boy a she as well. I had so many female dogs. I had 3 girls and him together. I don't think he cares. I don't think they understand that part of it, but they might not understand when you call him by the wrong name. But yeah, he looks pretty chill. He is right now because he was running around like crazy, so he kind of wore himself out. And yes, he is a little bit tired right now, but he is a cutie. He is so fluffy and soft, but there he is. And I'm going to put him back down before I get him riled up and too excited. We'll see if he's going to lay back down. He is, and go back to sleep. And so there, you got to meet Whip today. And yes, he's going to be one of the whips that I will keep as a work in progress. He will never be completed, let's put it that way. But I'm getting out our pattern to pull up on here, which have to get to the right section of it. Where do we have? We have so many sheets here. But this is the pattern that we will be using. We are not making a checkbook or an eyeglass cover, which is what they show it as. We are going to be making a, well, you can do whatever you want with it. We're going to be making the rose, of course, that is on here. But the project for the sew along will be to make a needle book, supply book, 4-counted cross stitch out of the finished project on that. He gave you Eskimo kisses. Yes, they both Stitches and Whip like to touch noses together. They bump your nose and then they give you a kiss. So I guess they're making sure to include everything. But yeah, it's kind of like, okay, they're greeting by bumping the nose and then they'll give you a kiss. But for our project, the pattern that we are going to be using, because they aren't the same size, is we are going to be the one that calls for the eyeglass case. And you're going to make your counted cross stitch the way that that shows, leaving a little extra fabric around the finished size of that, which I'll go over that in just a little bit too. And then, of course, which, see, this is where this says for the checkbook cover, that is not the one that you want to follow. You want to follow the one, and I already have it on my board here because I did get started. You want the one that says eyeglass cover because it is a little different. That is the one that we will be using for our project. And as the same way on the back, there is one that says eyeglass case back and one that says checkbook cover back. You want the one that is the eyeglass case back. So that is your pattern that you will be following for your counted cross stitch. The other things that you are going to need, which it will call for plastic canvas in this because it is for this checkbook cover and eyeglass cover. We are using our regular Aida cloth or whatever it is that you use. And I am doing mine not as a pink rose because my favorite flower is a yellow rose. So I have changed the colors and I will be stitching mine as a yellow rose instead of a pink rose. So you will have to gather. And if I get this up here correctly, I have a little folder that I've had forever for cross stitch projects that I have pockets and stuff that I keep everything in. But you're going to want to gather all your floss colors. Fray check if you have it, of course, in preparing your Aida cloth. And the other thing that you are going to need for this project, because we are making it into a type of book, you are going to need, which I guess we'll get back to it. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but since I've got this pulled out, we will show this portion. You are going to need some fabrics, which you are going to need a muslin type fabric, and then you are going to need something for your, this isn't, you know, my cover and stuff. These are just fabrics that I have decided I want to use for mine. And you can have however many pages inside that you want when you are doing this. So just keep that in mind. But you are for each page, and then also for your cover, and then you will need an additional piece that then ends up the back side of whatever page you are doing, so that you don't see your stitch work on that afterwards, which you will need also 9 by 12 pieces of batting. Those will be going between them as you do your stitch work on that afterwards. So you're going to need to choose some fabrics that you like, and they will all be cut in 9 by 12 inch squares, because our finished project is going to be 4.5 by 6 approximately. So, but that is what you will be cutting for that. And what I should have gone over first is how to make sure that you line your stitch count up correctly on your Aida cloth, so that you have that extra, because you don't want to go exactly by the stitch count. You're going to want a little bit extra, because we are going to be putting this on top of fabric afterwards. And if you mark off your stitching area, which you will need to the same size, if you mark that off at 7 1/8 by 4 1/4, 4 1/4 across, 7 1/8 down, and I marked the corners where it starts and ends, and then you will find your center from that and work out. That is how you will have this set up to come out correctly. So you have those to trim and cut out to put on your fabric, which will make your cover for your stitch book afterwards. If you want to use this project in some other way, it is totally up to you how you are going to use it in the end. Do what you want. If you're going to be doing the project that I am doing along with me, these are the instructions for that, and that is what I will be showing. Nice chart. I like yellow roses better than the pink. Yeah, what I did is I pulled out the ones for the pink and used them as knowing what they were using as far as their dark, medium, and light. And then I chose yellows in those same values instead. And you can do that for however you want to change your colors accordingly then for what you want your rose to be. And then make sure you mark down what you are using instead on the chart symbol for that. Oh, Roundtooth says, hello, everyone. We Shirley sewing and don't have my glasses on, so can't read chat. Okay, that's all right. No problem. And Kathy says, it's okay. I will be reading chat. You can concentrate on your project. Less strain on your eyes. Oh, yes. Good luck with your interview. And did I miss anything? Okay. Okay, Gladys is having problems with her eyelids. Oh no. Hope you can get that taken care of, Gladys. I missed some of that chat there. I'm sorry. But so that is everything. And of course, I start at the middle. I don't start exactly at the middle. I find the middle and go to what is across from that, starting with one color. And then I normally, everybody does it differently, but I normally work everything with that color and then go on to the next color choice that I have. But I do have mine, and I am going to switch to the larger view right now so I can show this better. I do have this type of frame, a scroll frame, that I have put my entire piece of Aida cloth on, because there's something, I might decide that I want to do another little countered cross stitch project of some kind and add to one of the pages on the inside of my needle book. We're going to call it a needle book. It's, a supply book for your counted cross stitch, but we will refer to it as a needle book. So I will be able to use some of the other Aida cloth on here to also stitch those out. And I have very little done. I just got everything on here so you could see. And I don't think you may be able, if I hold it there, you may be able to see my little pencil marks where I have marked where the beginning and ending of the length and the width is on my segments, and then have marked the center. And of course, I always have a needle minder, which that is the coffee shop one from Flamingo Toes, which is Beverly McCullough's website. Love her needle minders. I collect them from her. And I did save when I was cutting my 9x12 rectangles, I did save the leftover fabrics because I may want to use some of those as pockets or whatever on the inside pages of that. So if you get all of that together and everything, you will be ready for the stitch along for the counted cross stitch. And we are calling it Cross Stitch Friends Stitch Along Project. So, and you will be able to follow along with all of that also in the Facebook group. That is where everything and anything that I mentioned for that will always be posted. And the pattern is also as a PDF there. Yes, Andrea, they are. Good question at the right time there. Yes. Everything that I show that has a pattern on here, the links will always be found in the Facebook group, unless, of course, it doesn't pertain to the Facebook group. And then I will always let you know where it is, but you will be able to find all of that in the Captain Stitches and Friends Facebook group. So if you are interested in that project and you are not yet a member of the Facebook group, you will find the link for that in the description box on all of my videos and lives. It won't be there right now. I go in and I put that in after the live is over. And Lori says, Jean, I roll my fabric on my scrolls with the back of the material on the outside. Good side rolled inside. It helps keep your fabric clean. Well, I try and not leave it laying around too long, try to get it finished quickly so I don't have to worry about that. But, you know, I guess it depends upon how you set it down and where you set it down, but very careful about that. But thank you for that tip. I have rolled it. I have rolled it both ways. Sometimes I just find I like it one way than the other. It doesn't seem to make much of a difference for me. But and I have multiples of the frames. I think I have, yeah, I think I have 3, which I have another project on another one right now. But anyway, so that is everything on both of the projects that we are doing. Those of you following along on YouTube, those of you following along through our through my Facebook group. And good morning, Nancy. It is great to see you, our treasured home, who is also one of our Stitching Friends membership of the YouTube channel. Welcome, welcome. Yeah. Like I said, there's no cross-stitch police either. So it's totally what you are comfortable with. It's great, you know, try it both ways, see how it is that you like it. But yeah, many ways and many different ways of doing things. So that is not a technical one that you have to be concerned with a right or wrong way. But and the other thing that I wanted to make sure that I did mention, because I know some of you were here on earlier. I'm sure there will be ones that watch the replay, but I did want to let all my YouTube channel members know, who are referred to as Stitching Friends, that I have designed for a members only project, which is a quilting project, an Easter double pinwheel table topper pattern. And we will be working on that, those of you that want to. We will be working on that together during our Zoom Stitch Day, March 14th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And I will be sending you that information to download the PDF. So make sure that you check the community tab for members only, or also in the chat group that I have that I know some of you are in that already. I sent invitations out to all of you. Some of you have gotten on that chat. Some of you have not yet. So you might want to get in that chat. If you don't like, just turn the notifications off, turn them back on when you want, because that is where I will always be posting information on things that we are doing for the members only. So look for that. And Joyce says she doesn't do cross stitch. Yes, I know there on my channel, I do not only quilting, I do cross stitch, I do embroidery, I do crochet, a little bit of something for everyone. And I know there will always be some that don't do that type of stitching, and that's quite all right, because I will have something else going on for whatever it is that you enjoy and you do in stitching. So, but I try to make sure that I have something for everyone that knows that Kept in Stitches is not just about quilting, but it is for all forms of stitching out there. So yes, if you put exclamation point selfie, those of you that are content creators, it will drop your link for those to go over and check out and see if they would like what you do in on your channel and like to subscribe to you. So check those out, everyone. We have some great content creators that are on here, and I'm sure you would love to see and enjoy what they do also. So unless anyone has any questions about everything that I have covered today, we are at the end of the hour. For those of you that don't know, I do always have this scheduled for 2 hours just in case there's something that's taking longer, but I have never had to go that long yet. But and also I do have, believe, yes, I put the schedule up for the Zoom, which it will always be the last Saturday of the month for those that are in the Facebook group. That is when the Zooms are, and they are from, oh, I forgot the time. I'm sorry. I forgot the time on those exactly, but they are always 1 to 5. 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they will always be on the last Saturday of the month unless I let you know otherwise. And every once in a while, we may have one in between there. If I'm just sitting around and stitching and think, ooh, I'd like some company, I will let you know, and I will open the Zoom up and say, hey, come on and join me. So always, always be checking. You never know when I may invite you to a Zoom. Goodbye, Jean and everyone. Have a great day, all, says Kathy. Goodbye, Kathy, and thank you for being here with us. And everyone is, darn, I missed it. You can watch the replay, Mona. That's all right. No problem. But did you hear the announcement, though, that I will have the special project that I designed for the members only on the Zoom Stitch Day for members only of my channel, The Stitching Friends, on March 14th from 4 to 7 p.m. And you will be able to find the download for that in either on the community tab that I will be posting it for members only, or in the chat group that is for members only. Yeah. Oh, the love of technology, Andrea. I'm sorry. She says she tried to add the schedule to her calendar, but it would not load, so I did it manually. The Zoom, yes. The Zoom that is for the members only. I will have the information to you for that, so those that want to go along and do that project can have their fabrics gathered and cut, and or what, at least have your fabrics, and we can work on that together during the March 14th Zoom Stitch Day. You've been listening and cutting. Okay. And Debbie says goodbye. Have a nice weekend. And I almost forgot. For those of you that watch Sean, the guy who sews, I will be on tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. with him. So be sure and check that out. And I will be starting on a brand new project of my own to sew on during that. So there was a lot of cutting, and I still have some of that to get ready, but be sure and check that out. Sean, the guy that sews, and I will be on with him tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Catch the replay if it's too early for you. So have a great weekend, everyone, and I will see you again soon. And as always, remember, in the meantime, I can keep you in stitches. Bye-bye, everyone.